Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Sovereign Society podcast. I've been wanting to do this episode for some time now, and this is one of my dear friends. And it kind of relates back to the episode with Shane Thunder when we were talking about sound healing and sound alchemy, because when I met Shane, it was the same time I was introduced to Dr. Nick here, and Dr. Nick is brilliant. He's just a genius, and he's really passionate about the power of essential oils. And there was no question that I wanted to talk to my dear friend here about essential oils, because there's no one else that is, I feel like you're so passionate and giving, and you know your shit. And this is what's great, is that you were a pharmacist, correct? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
still am.
You're not a pharmacist, and now you're working more so with plants and essential oils to heal people. And you know, there's a massive wave that's happening right now, you know, where people are diving more into these alternative healing modalities, and they're going back to basics. Wouldn't you say so?
That feels like the trend, at least in what I'm seeing around me.
Yeah, definitely. I just feel like people are just going back to basics, and we're going back to the medicines of our ancestors, and to really allow ourselves to connect with nature, allow her to help us navigate through this time and space with ease and grace, while also just like activating within us the same elements that is in the nature, that's in these essential oils. So thank you for being here. And I want to dive in by just really starting to explain how essential oils work, what are essential oils, and the importance of high quality essential oils versus just like a basic store brand oil.
hmm So I think I heard a few questions there. I guess I'll start off with what are essential oils? So essential oils are really concentrated, oftentimes terpenes that are found inside the plant. These are volatile aromatic molecules, which are pharmacologically active at very low concentration. In nature, these terpene molecules are what plants use to signal between themselves and animals, pollinators. It's the communication that's found in nature. And so it makes a lot of sense that these terpenes are going to communicate with humans, right? We walk by a flower and we bask in the beauty that it is, and we take a deep, slow inhalation through our nose, and we just allow the jasmine to just satiate our senses, and we just have this moment of reverence with this jasmine flower, and we just think about how beautiful it is, and then we connect with our memories associated with the previous times that we've had jasmine flowers. And perhaps we're so inspired by the fragrance that we choose to dedicate a portion of our yard to growing and inviting these jasmine flowers. And so the intelligence of nature has programmed plants with these molecules and with this intelligence to continue their propagation. Because of my experience loving jasmine flowers, now I have an opportunity to plant them in my garden, and they're flourishing.
Yeah. And so how did essential oils kind of come into your life? When were you like, ooh, this is what I'm ready to dive in deeper and share more of?
Yeah, so I was one of the first pharmacists in California to be doing work with cannabis clinics. I recognize that cannabis is a powerful medicine, and that taking away the legal aspect of things, that there are probably better ways to incorporate its use as a medicine, and also many ways of abusing it. So I just dove in and got fascinated by the cannabis plant, and I started studying and researching. That's when I discovered terpenes. which again are the aromatic molecules found inside plants that are responsible for flavor, fragrance, and they're also pharmacologically active at very low concentration. So in inquiring what to do with this knowledge, I started looking into where else in nature that terpenes are found to help to augment patient therapy. And what I discovered is that essential oils are essentially concentrated plant terpenes. And so I learned that there's so much potential for using these essential oils therapeutically. So I started experimenting when I was doing consulting for some clinics down in California.
Amazing. Yeah. And like going back to my question when I asked before too, like the importance of these higher quality essential oils where you're using a higher grade plant and the process, right? What is the difference between these store-bought essential oils or like essential oils working with you, other than of course the love you put into it? Because this is just like one of the most high vibing people I know. So
Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks, Sabrina. So, quality is really everything, right? When you're looking at let's just say a very large scale essential oil company that focuses on dollar and cents, and it is maximizing a certain production to get them into thousands and thousands of stores. You're going to be utilizing large industrial size equipment, typically going to be using larger pressures and temperatures to speed up the extraction process. And so the quality of the aromatic profile can be compromised due to the high levels of pressure and or temperature, which can maximize the speed at which the processes are taken out. So in order to get huge amounts of volume, sometimes the quality suffers. And then you also look at the plant material. What is the quality of the original plant material? If it's sprayed and laden with pesticides and fertilizers, it's, I've heard a few different schools of thoughts about how much pesticides can come into a steam distillation. And most of them are very heavy. And so it's said that there's very little to none that goes through. When you have starting plant material that's laden with chemicals, the plant is not going to be able to biologically be at its highest state. And so it's not going to be expressing itself in the most enriched depth. And so you're starting with plant material. If you are starting with plant material, I should say, that has a lower vitality, and then you're putting it through this industrial process just to maximize the amount of volume to keep things moving at an incredible rate, you're really sacrificing a lot of quality. Another challenge that I want to present that's also important with this is taking a look at these huge numbers that some of these companies are looking at. Sourcing plant material can be a challenge. And so what happens when the supplier of the plant material literally is unable to produce enough plants? Well, the risk for adulteration steps in. And so that's one really big challenge on the essential oil market is adulteration. As things start to popularize and everyone wants it, you have something that may be able to be very similarly reproduced through either synthetic chemicals and or other plant mixtures. And so you might, synthetic additives will typically cause reactions in humans anywhere from subtle to very strong, based on how it's affected and interpreted by the human physiology. And so giving a specific example for me, if someone walks by and they have a synthetic perfume or cologne, it's really offensive to my nose. Mm-hmm. And how that translates to me is I actually probably 80% of the time will get a physiological headache. And so it's affecting my senses. And I'll have to do a little bit more research onto this, but it may be associated with the rotational spin of the aromatic molecules. I believe that there is oftentimes, so there's a right rotating spin and a left rotating spin for molecules. And I believe in nature, there's a different rotational spin. And I don't remember whether it's left or right, that is different in synthetics, which I think are oftentimes both rotational spins. And so the way that those different rotational molecules bind to our scent receptors can literally be bulky and not fit exactly as they need to. And so we think we're smelling something, but it causes a reaction that is off-putting.
Fascinating. Yeah, because I know with me too, I feel like before I was on my path, and really doing the work, I could have been fine working with whatever like synthetic smells, but I get the same thing too. I get the headache, even air fresheners, in cars that people spray and all those things are so bad for our health. And I know you're very passionate and understanding of it as well, but if we don't have if our main senses, if our 5 main senses aren't working together to create that one big sense, we're not going to be able to be multisensory and tap into our intuition as well, because there's there's like flaws that are kind of happening, or as you said, just the shift in that chemical output and how we receive.
Yeah, very well spoken. I resonate with that.
Yeah, because I know, like, I think that's why there's also such the rise of awareness around essential oils too, is because more and more people are like awakening back to like who they are and remembering who they are and remembering what is real. It's been really fascinating to see. And, there's so many of these like big companies and MLM, essential oils and all that kind of stuff. But it's interesting to see like how you are working with this process as a distributor yourself, and you just had the Kickstarter to move to Oregon, and now you're on 5 acres, correct? Right?
So we're on a different location, and so we're on a more organic growth curve, and it's phenomenal here. We actually got some extraction equipment donated earlier this year. And so we've been experimenting with producing ultrasonic extractions, which I'm really excited about. And things are definitely continuing to grow and expand at a very beautiful rate.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. Tell us about this ultrasonic extraction, because what differentiates it from the other process? I'm like just so fascinated and curious about how this is all unfolding for you, brother. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so a really beautiful man by the name of Douglas Stewart, who is a legendary chemist and perfumer. He contributed some technology that he had a hand in developing specifically to his specifications. And due to some health issues, Douglas has instilled the opportunity and responsibility for me to carry his work forward.
Passing
And so, yeah, full on.
Wow.
So, yeah, Douglas, so I have at my disposal an ultrasonic unit that utilizes ultrasonic waves to break down the cell walls of plant material. And as a result, it spills out the essential oil and different plant alkaloids into the solvent. So you could use non-polar solvents, water, or oil. And what happens is the aromatic oils and plant constituents will get released from the plant material into the solvent. So the solvent that we're typically using is water and oil. And so our latest extraction that we did was completed actually this week. It took a lot of time to really finish concentrating the plant material. So water has a higher boiling point than many other solvents. And so as a result, it's a lot slower of a evaporation process. So going, I guess, completing about the ultrasonic extractions, what we do is we utilize the ultrasonic waves. We collect the aromatic and plant constituents into the solvent, and then we put it through a vacuum filtration system so that we remove all the plant material to prevent molding. We then take that substrate and then we utilize our rotary evaporator to vacuum distill. So through our process, we're able to utilize very low temperatures, I would say very low to medium temperatures, to distill out the water. And so what happens is we have these plant aromatic molecules and alkaloids that are just getting concentrated as we continue to vacuum distill out the hydrosol. And so, yeah, it's been such a gift to be able to work and experiment with this technology. I've ran into a number of challenges and opportunities, and I'm learning more with every experiment that we run. Our latest success story is we had a friend who has been growing mugwort in his garden for a few years. And so he harvested 1.2 kilos of locally sourced mugwort, and we put it into the ultrasonic. And the product is absolutely beautiful. I'm blown away by the actual yield that we have. One thing that's superior about the ultrasonic technology is it produces a superior quality product with a higher yield in a shorter amount of time in terms of the extraction process.
So yeah, so like 1.42 kilos, you said?
1.2 kilos.
1.2 kilos. So what would that yield into? Because I don't think people realize how much plant material you need to really extract and create the material.
Right. So there's a lot of plant material that goes into producing a little bit of essential oil. And so what I'm discovering is that it's more correct for the ultrasonic extractions to call them ultrasonic extracts as opposed to like an ultrasonic essential oil or an ultrasonic extracted essential oil. And the reason this is because it seems to be far more full spectrum. So to answer your question, seeing yields anywhere from about 0.25% to 2% of plant material, of essential oil per plant material is very realistic. Now, in the mugwort that we've produced, I haven't actually calculated the total because I just finished with the last bit of evaporating the water away, separating the hydrosol with the finished mugwort extract earlier this week. And I'm extrapolating that there's somewhere around 100 to 120 grams, which is about a 10% yield.
Wow.
And I'm also really clear that I did not pull out 100% of the water in our extracts. And so what I've been doing with this amazing, super concentrated, absolutely stunning mugwort extract is I've been formulating it into tinctures. And so mugwort is our first ultrasonic tincture.
Amazing.
And we infused it into organic lychee alcohol that's sourced locally from Alchemical Solutions. So it's been a lot of fun.
I'm so excited. That's incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing what's coming through these days.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is mugwort's been coming up a lot for me lately. Like I've been told that I should be bathing in mugwort, as well as having mugwort tea before bed. So the fact that you're talking about mugwort, it's more and more showing me. She's like, hey, let's hang out.
Right?
Yeah. There's a lot of people that have been, I feel like, working a lot with mugwort lately. I don't know if it's just with like the seasons or what, but doing more of that dream space kind of work and
Mm.
doing the lucid dreaming so we can really start healing our subconscious while we're sleeping and
Mm.
doing that work, because a lot of us sometimes, especially here empaths, you're still doing that work in your dreams.
Yeah.
So it's a lot we're clearing up right now. So what do you see? Because like, I know it was interesting. I was at a conference all weekend about wellness, and the I went to this one talk about like healthcare disruptors, and how there's more and more
Mm.
people talking about creating new systems, implementing essential oils and clean eating and meditation and all of these things. So what do you see as like what do you see is happening with now that you've got this ultrasonic machinery and you're in this new space? Like, what are you feeling into as the vision of what's occurring?
Yeah. Wow. So, what was coming through is actually really fun because I don't think I've ever explored this aspect. What I'm finding myself inspired about is utilizing the pure essential oils and then infusing them and really formulating and titrating to an appropriate dosage form and or product for the end user. And so what I've been noticing over the past few months is uh, an inner reflection of how much plant material it takes to produce pure essential oils. And pure essential oils are so much information that they can actually be somewhat overwhelming to the physiology initially. And so being able to effectively use essential oils, you can take them and put them into a diffuser where a drop can be lasting for minutes to hours. You can put them into an essential oil vaporizer where people can actually breathe in the heat the oil very softly and breathe in the oil anywhere from about 10 to 20 inhalations with appropriate technique and receive pharmacological benefit. You can formulate them into different carrier oils so that they can be massaged to the body. And so what I'm finding is that when I first started exploring essential oils, I was using large quantities, pure essential oils. I was putting them into my beverages, drinks, rubbing them on my body, vaporizing them, putting them into diffusers, rubbing them on my feet, and I was very explorative. As I've continued to refine myself and my awareness and communication with the plants, what I'm learning is that less is really more with the essential oils. And so creating targeted essential oil products has really been a joy for me recently. I've been doing some consulting on a number of different projects, and I have some collaborations that are in discussion right now about how do we utilize our plant friends to create a formulation to the end user that delivers superior therapeutic benefits or can really be integrated for a phenomenal aromatic experience.
Definitely. Yeah. I know for me, I've been working with like my nervous system and healing, gallbladder, liver, all these different things. And I'm doing my best to implement through plants, whether it's like
Mm-hmm.
drinking peppermint tea or so there's some essential oils you can ingest, right? And then there's some that you can, or food quality. Like, what's the difference? What makes it food quality versus just like a typical bottle that you can ingest? Because I think there's a huge differentiation with that as well, right?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked this question. There is no standardized definition of food grade or edible quality on the essential oil market. It's literally all just marketing. So,
Fascinating.
right. Um,
Wow.
so, when we're looking to ingest essential oils, I think it's important to be mindful about a number of things. So I'm going to get into some passionate information here.
Mhm.
So imagine this. It takes 19 cups of peppermint tea steeped in hot water for 15 minutes to create the same number of aromatic and therapeutic essence that's found in one drop of peppermint essential oil.
Wow.
So you hear these ideas and these concepts about just take a drop of peppermint every morning for your digestion, and then in actuality you take a drop of essential oil of peppermint in your mouth, about 40-45 milligrams. I don't know the exact density of the peppermint, and every bottle size is a little bit different, but you're probably looking somewhere between about 35 and 45 milligrams. Oh, oops, you spilled out 2 or 3 drops. So now you have 120 milligrams in your mouth of peppermint. And you do that every day, right? Well, essential oils are broken down by the liver. And so most people are, in our modern day society, we have so many stressors and toxins found inside of our environment, our food supply, that are constantly putting our liver on overdrive. So there's therapeutic benefits associated with ingesting small quantities of essential oils, and it also can put a stress on the body. It may be difficult to quantify what that level of stress is compared to, let's say, the alcohol that people are choosing to consume at dinner, or different types of plant extracts, or fertilizers or pesticides that are found in foods that people are choosing to eat. And so that research has not been made widely available. What we do know is that essential oils do have a high therapeutic potential. And so maximizing that therapeutic potential while minimizing potential harm and risk is key. So examples of doing that is, like I just shared with you, there is no such thing as food grade. So do you know your farmers that are producing the plant material, or do you know the distillers that are distilling your plants? How great is the reputation of the cooperative that is gathering together all the plant material in their local tribes in Nepal and collecting the plant material and doing group distillations? What is the integrity of the companies that you're working with? And these are all considerations that I have to take into account. Batch by batch, everything is different. I have had the experience of really thoroughly enjoying a batch of a specific product from a particular country and a particular vendor, where 3 years later there's just a noticeable drop of quality, and I go and I find a new supplier. There's so much essential oil products that are adulterated on the market, and I've been very fortunate that I haven't had to accept too many losses, and it happens to everyone. Oftentimes newer companies, and so if I receive a product that I don't want to put in my body, then I'm not interested in putting it out, and I accept that as a financial loss. And I work with the company to see if I could get a refund or send it back, and or it's a good lesson. So, trusting your source, like who is providing the essential oil products that you're choosing to utilize, what's their level of consciousness and discernment for selecting the products that you're choosing to put on and or in your body. The other aspect of that I wanted to share was I mentioned about minimizing potential harms. And so, talking from both a sustainability standpoint and also minimizing harm, again, comes my passion for formulating products. To date, I have about 240 different essential oil products, which is a really stunning repertoire. And over 100 of those are different products that I've formulated over the years, everything from kava to CBD, have wizard alchemy blends, therapeutic formulas, botanical perfumes. And my goal and intention is to take these premium quality organic and wildcrafted essential oils and CO2 extracts and to formulate them into a finished product that's ready for the end user to rock and roll. And so, going back to the particular example of peppermint and digestion, I make this formula that I call digestive, and I make it into a tincture formulation. So digestive is a number of different plants that have digestive qualities, everything from soothing to the stomach, antibacterial properties, help to reduce gas and bloating. It's a combination of peppermint, CO2 extracted caraway, mace, star anise, fennel, and
all the goods.
All the goods, right?
Yeah.
What I've done is I've added it into organic sugarcane alcohol. And so what I've done is I've produced an essential oil tincture. And the intention is because, as I shared, taking a pure drop of essential oil into the mouth, into the body, is so much information. And so how I experience it is there's an initial shock to the system. It's like, whoa, 19 cups of peppermint tea in my tongue right now. And there's moments that are necessary to integrate from that. And then the body recognizes, oh, this is medicine, send this here, send this there. And so there's an initial shock to the system, and then an integration with a therapeutic benefit, and then a metabolization of the end product. And so what I've done is I've formulated these tinctures to minimize the actual amount of essential oil being ingested. And so now we're taking what used to be, 40-ish milligrams of a pure essential oil. We're infusing it into a 15 mil tincture bottle. Typically the drops are about 25 to 30 milligrams. And I like my medicine strong, so I use about, oftentimes about 10 to 20% of the essential oil into the tinctures. And now we're looking at, what does that math come out to be? Somewhere between about 3 and 6-ish milligrams of essential oil. So not only does it lower the actual concentration of the essential oil and lower the dose per drop, the tincture formulation is a little bit easier to dose onto the tongue. And the alcohol serves as a carrier to drive the essential oil where it wants to go with more ease and grace. And so this is an example of consciously formulating products and lifestyle solutions that really work for people while minimizing potential harm and risk.
Fascinating. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Because like I said, there is the wave of these technologies, and there's a lot that we're going through. Our autoimmune disorders, we're taxing, we're super taxed with technology, EMF waves, all these things. And so our bodies are really doing their best to navigate through these massive changes of technology. So I would love to hear some of your favorite blends that you sell and that you have that can support people with the way that the world is right now.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you. What a great portal of opportunity. So, I feel like everyone's nervous system is a little overstimulated. And one great formula that I have that's really good for, let's say, daytime for reducing stress is our Violet Chill formulation. So Violet Chill is a combination of lavender, cedar, frankincense, myrrh, and helichrysum infused in fractionated coconut oil, enhanced with some ormus. And we can get into the ormus a little bit later. So this is a great formula for bug bites, burns, inflammation, stress, and also to support the healing process associated with wounds. And so violet chill is, for me, it's like a violet cloud of calm, and it just sweeps the nervous system and just softens, lowers levels of stress. And so I like to take some deep inhalations and massage it into the bottom of my feet, or apply it right below the nose or the wrist points. I find that this one has a very small effect on cognition. Some of my more powerful formulas, I suggest utilizing when we're not working, or can be at a lower gear in terms of our brain function, because they really help to relax the nervous system. And so violet chill is a great one to just have around the office. It's wonderful for kids. I've seen this numerous times in young kids, I guess kids as young as 2 or 3, massaged onto the bottom of their feet, or applied right below their nose. I've seen children that were running around frantically and yelling and screaming, and putting a little bit right below the nose and on the wrist points, or massaging it into their feet. And then they just come down, relax, and they're still having fun, but they're at a much more relaxed pace.
They're not driving mom and dad crazy.
No. Yeah, so it's that's a great option. For stronger levels of stress and difficulty sleeping, some of the formulations that I've crafted that I really enjoy, I would say my Kava Chill is probably my favorite go-to formula. It's got a combination of CO2 extracted kava with lavender, sweet marjoram, clary sage, rose geranium, bergamot, blue yarrow, and fennel. Infused in fractionated coconut oil. And so it's an infusion tincture, and I find this one to be really good for relaxing the physical body, slowing down the mind. And so those racing thoughts from our overactive lifestyle, I find that it helps to quiet the noise in our mind late in the evening, is oftentimes when I choose to use it. And so I don't find that it makes you go to sleep, but I find that it makes the transition into sleep become more easy, because there's less thoughts saturating the brain. And so that one is called Kava Chill. And there's 2 other formulas that I really enjoy, my men's relaxation and women's hormone formula. Those are formulations utilizing an organic CO2 extract of hemp oil that contain CBD with 0 THC, at least at this time. And those formulations are really good for relaxing the nervous system. I find that they're good for reducing inflammation in the physical body, kind of calming the mind. I find these formulations to not have as strong of a cognitive relaxation process, but it feels physically in the body more relaxing, I would say. And I've even formulated these 2 products together as there are ultrasonic hemp CBD tinctures, and those are our extra strength for the American lifestyle.
Sign me up. Yeah, I know with me, since I was struck by lightning, my nervous system has been really told, and so
Oh, wow.
That's been a huge part of my journey, is just like strengthening my nervous system, also as an empath, and now with these deeper psychic abilities with the world that we're living in right now. So that's why I was really excited to have you on, because a lot of the times these podcasts, I learn a lot, and I know there's a lot of people are going to be learning a lot too. And I think our nervous systems and a lot of our liver, like you said, have been really taxed. And just the overall chi, you know, there's a lot of what we're navigating through right now in these times. And it can be really draining on our energy.
Sure. Yeah, it's wow, I'm still integrating being struck by lightning. That's fascinating, and I'm pretty curious to know what types of like how that's evolved you, and we can tune
Yeah.
into that maybe a little bit later.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, when we were at Envision, that was part of my like, because I got to hang out with Dr. Nick at Envision and in Costa Rica, and that was a huge part of me, like really healing and kind of integrating. Like, okay, now it's time for me to really step up more. Now it's time for me to like,
mm,
you know, not be like I still have to honor my healing journey, but I needed to like really separate myself from the craziness of the American world and the American culture of the West, and you know, just really connect with nature. And then here I come literally crashing into you in the walkway, like, oh my God.
oh yeah, that was great. I loved meeting you there.
Yeah. And like we found this like spot, and Dr. Nick had his whole like little briefcase of oils, and I just laid on this floor and he just like doused me with all these oils. It was so sweet and lovely.
Oh,
It was so,
precious memories.
yeah, so good. See, I just wanted to thank you for that, because like I said, this has been
Mm,
part of my healing journey, from that incident. I don't want to call it an accident, from that incident,
mm,
and learning how to navigate through these changing times. Because what happened was my channel was just like this open vessel after, you know, it was just like this big open portal that I had after this lightning incident, and I didn't know how to honor my boundaries or protect my energy. So I was just like soaking everything in. So now this is part of my healing process, is continuing to clear out and transmute. And so with that, like I would love to, because I know like I was asking you before, like what are some things you're really interested about too. And so, you know, how like bringing these medicines and these tools into business and into the path of entrepreneurship, and you know, like how can we continue to use these modalities for us on an individual level so that we can continue to serve and do our divine mission. Like what are you feeling with that?
yeah. So, you know, twofold information that's coming through to me. So, you know, being an entrepreneur that is conscientious about the direction that this world is going, you know, so many of these formulations have been specifically designed to empower us in all the different things that we choose to do. And so many of our formulations have a very particular intention, like shower in a bottle as a natural spray deodorant for the person who's traveling and, you know, wants to clean up and maybe doesn't have access to a shower every day, and or maybe they do and they just want to stay super fresh throughout the day, and so that's a natural spray deodorant that I formulated. You know, targeting really specific themes. You know, people who experience chronic pain in their body, I have a very effective anti-inflammatory analgesic formulation that also helps to speed up the healing process of wounds that I call pain relief ice. And that's a really powerful teacher. And so being able to utilize these plant technologies and this plant intelligence in our immediate field to have a higher level of clarity, discernment, and functionality in our day-to-day tasks and life and joys can really empower us to optimize and show up to our highest potential. You know, the way that you asked the question of me is, I also felt called to share that I've developed this company as a way to really express medicine, express botanical wisdom in a way that is functional and has a structure so that people can share. And so utilizing essential oils for ourselves and also to share them with their family And so we've actually created an affiliate program where people can offer their friends custom coupon codes and also be rewarded for sharing the essential oils. And so this creates a very low stress because there's no tiers and there's no competition intended. It's a way of, for instance, you, Sabrina, being able to share a special coupon code with your audience and being able to just authentically express whatever is exciting about our products that are serving and supporting you. If you find something that you love and you want to suggest it to people, we'll make it really easy by giving you a link so that people can check it out. And if they're feeling called to, they can invest in it. And then we would reward you with a commission on that. And so,
New paradigm.
Yeah, it's all about win-win-win.
Yeah, no competition. It's about cooperation and collaboration, and we're all helping each other, and sharing this information is helping the people that we love to also optimize their human experience.
Mm-hmm. I really love the way that you said that. That is fully how I'm choosing to integrate my reality these days. And it is also worth saying that there is a level of discernment that's responsible, because not everyone is truly feeling with those values. And so it's important to be mindful about who we're choosing to share our energy and who we're choosing to share our energy with, because it's important to align with people that are, on the same wavelength, so that there can be more created for everyone.
I hear you with that. And that's part of the process and the journey of discovering ourself, our worthiness. And I feel like also when we feel good, there's more of that solid, concrete, like honoring of ourselves with those boundaries, with that discernment. We're in that space of self-awareness.
Mm-hmm. Fully.
Yes. And I feel like that's what a huge part of these, the plants are speaking through us, right? So that's what's happening. You're seeing more ceremony happening. You're seeing essential oil rise happening, just deeper like plant-based diet meals and food. And I feel like it's a really fascinating time to be alive. Yes, there's a lot of shit going on, but there's also a lot of really amazing things happening. Like, these tools and these technologies that you're implementing and sharing. That's powerful, and this is just setting precedent for what's to come. Like, to me, I feel like the future is so bright with what is unfolding just by people like you who are continuing to follow their passion and to remember why we're here, which is to uplift humanity, to connect with nature, to share our gifts and the truth of who we are. So I don't know. I'm very interested and excited to see how this continues to unfold, and just seeing the amount of growth that you've had, because I know you've been traveling around at festivals for a while, and just seeing how you trusting and knowing that you needed to move to Oregon, and seeing how that, the journey that has brought you to now, to this breath. It's been so beautiful to watch and to witness.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see what continues. And again, like you mentioned, like I'm part of an affiliate with Essential Oiled Wizardry, and all you have to type in is Sovereign Society for your 10% off coupon. And you can also go to essentialoilwizardry.com/Sovereign Society to get into the link and see. But I'm really excited to be diving deeper into a lot of your tinctures and seeing this new ultrasonic journey you're on, and seeing how this really goes. And so with that, I also wanted you to talk about your monthly alchemy club, where you're also having different tiers of essential oils being sent, and share about that.
Yeah, thank you. So, this working with the essential oils and collaborating with plants is really a portal for our own personal development and growth. And so one program that we've been implementing over the past few years is our monthly alchemy club. And what this is it's a membership that people can subscribe to, where we send out a fixed shipment every month of different combinations of products. And so there's 3 different tiers that combine anything from a pure essential oil or a CO2 extract, a essential oil tincture, an exquisite botanical perfume, and one of our wizard alchemy blends. And so this package comes with information on how best to use the essential oil or how to experiment with it. And we really keep things creative. So some months are very practical purposes, others are more on the esoteric vibration. Other months are just complete amazing experiments that really deepen our connection to ourself. And the intention behind it is to really be supportive throughout the seasons. And so I'll actually sit in December and I will meditate and feel into what the next year of offerings looks like. And so I'll sit and I'll feel into all the different holidays and the energies of the seasons, and what types of plants are blooming during that time. And just like a piece of art, different oils and different blends and tinctures will just tell me that they want to be expressed on March 2019 and December 2020. And so I'll literally sit and I'll craft as much of the year as wants to come through during that session. And what's really special about that is the amount of feedback that I receive from our members about, how did you know? Like I was having this type of day or this type of week, and then I opened up my package and it was prosperity. And I was really looking at the decisions that I wanted to make in my life, and prosperity showed up. And so that's my formulation about speaking your truth and the clarity of one's path. So it helps to support not of the mind, but of the gut, and it helps to facilitate action. So it really activates the intuition. And so all of a sudden, one of our members commented about how it showed up at their doorstep right when they needed to make an important decision. And so I've just learned to trust the magic that comes through me, and to just allow it to be whatever it is, and to not try and figure it out. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about our monthly alchemy club.
And you can find out more on that on your website as well, right?
Totally. Yeah, it's essentialoilwizardry.com/join the club, with dashes in between join the and club.
Super fun. Amazing. Well, thank you for your information. I want to do a quick little lightning round to wrap up here.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's tune into that. What would you say are some of your animal totems that have been really navigating and guiding you lately?
Well, let me tune in about that. The animal kingdom is a kingdom that I don't focus a lot of time or energy with. And so I feel like a bear has been present in my past, and I can also feel some aspects of the bear in my present. Feelings of hibernation and self-care, and immense strength and potency that is delivered when necessary, and the adaptability.
Oh, I love that. That was beautiful. Okay. What would you say to younger Docta today?
Cool. So previous self, I would share, keep doing what you're doing, follow your passion and your dreams. It's okay if and when people don't understand you fully, and enjoy. enjoy.
I love that. What would you say is the vision that you see with essential oil wizardry?
Mm. So the direction that I see our company is being able to collaborate with communities across the world, empowering local indigenous wisdom and tribes and community members that have a vision for creating some of the most potent plant extracts and botanical medicines on the planet, bringing together a solid purpose of growing medicinal herbs and plants, setting up state-of-the-art extraction facilities, collaborating with universities and researchers around the world to really experiment what some of these less studied botanicals have to offer our health and well-being. And being able to create a essential oil wizardry feels like a movement that brings communities together to really bring more balance and harmony on this world. And so for me, essential oil wizardry is an expression of what I can do to shift and change the things that I don't love about what's going on this planet right now by focusing purpose and creation in things that I want to see more available on the planet.
Yes, the solution.
Oh.
Oh, amazing. So if someone is like curious about diving into essential oils, what would you recommend as some of the great ones to start working with that are like very adaptable in a way of an introduction?
Yeah, thanks for asking. As far as pure essential oils, and I'm just going to maybe list a few off because I can speak for literally weeks on this. And so lavender, frankincense, peppermint, hoewood, those are all super practical and pure essential oils that are, essential. I love cedar atlas. That's another great pure oil. As far as different blends that I formulated as like starter sets, Violet Chill, Invigor, Trinity, Pain Relief Ice, Respire. Our ceremonial set is phenomenal. Our ceremonial set is really helpful for clearing the energy of a space, clearing the energy in someone's personal field, and then amplifying the field around a person.
Okay, if you're a business spiritual leader, you need that kit. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, and so when you asked your question earlier, that was the kit that I wanted to suggest for you. And especially psychic protection. I mean, there's people from all walks of life, anywhere from movie stars to successful entrepreneurs and medicine workers around the globe that just are, it's a magical formula. So other really helpful ones, I really like our rose anointing blend. Rose is just really good for opening up the heart and softening the emotional body. Let's see if there's any others that want to come through. I feel like that's a great place to start off with for general well-rounded. And I feel like our Kava Chill formulation for stress and relaxing the nervous system. Some of our CBD products. We recently released a vape pen. We formulated a product for a company called Bio CBD. I can send you a link on that. I feel it's a better alternative to most of the vaporizable pens or tobacco that are on the market. It's got really low THC, well below the legal limit, and different essential oils of bergamot, clary sage, lavender, and lemongrass, and it's really good for calming the nervous system. So that's one that's really great to integrate into a lifestyle. And yeah, there's just so much potential because what I've shared is really baseline of what's available. And I have really targeted formulations like things to enhance lucidity of dreams or to increase the potency of meditation, or things for, even like geranium, rose geranium. That is a really powerful essential oil for transitioning relationships. Anyone who's going through heartache of loss of a partner, or let's say the death of a loved one, it's really good for forgiveness and for letting go and for recreating with what's present.
Mm.
And so maybe the best suggestion I could give is, that's a nice little baseline summary of some
Your
quick
medicine cabinet.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah. And to start stocking up on them.
Yeah, it's and then for people who want to really dive deeper, we literally have several hundred product descriptions and videos at our website, essentialoilwizardry.com. And the education is just beginning, so I'm excited for people to take this ride with us.
Yeah, and that was my intention with this episode with you. I just wanted to be able to offer the education and some kind of foundation on understanding, because I see essential oils and continuing to rise. So this to me was like a really great baseline for that foundation to continue with that journey and explore yourself, and see what plants are resonating with you and what. So where can we find you other than essentialoilswizardry.com?
Yeah, well, we're on Instagram and a little bit on Twitter and Pinterest and Facebook. Essential Oil Wizardry for most of them. I think we're Essential Oil Wiz for Twitter. And then we're most active on Instagram and on our website. We also have a mailing list on our website, and people can sign up and receive a discount for their first order. We can team people up with the latest and greatest that are coming through our lab.
Yes. And if there's anything else that's coming up that you want to share, what would you like to share?
Well, I'm very grateful for the audience for really having a commitment to themselves and to each other and to the planet associated with being the highest version of themselves. And I just want to express my gratitude for you, Sabrina, for being such a strong, inspiring woman who shares so much knowledge and wisdom with her audience, and is committed to bringing the most inspirational people from all across the world to share their information and perspective. And I guess the only thing that I want to share is that anything and everything is possible. And when you put your energy towards it, it's probable. And so do what your heart is telling you to do, that you know is right in every cell of your body, even if you're not 100% clear on the fourth dimensional reality pathway on how to get to your objective. Because with that excitement that comes through you and clear intentions in a way of looking at how to be of service to others, I think that my experience is and has been that the fourth dimensional reality things will line up to bring us the resources, the people, the opportunities necessary so that we can truly share our gifts in a sustainable way.
And soar to higher dimensions.
Oh.
Doctor, thank you so much for sitting on this call with me and connecting with me and with everyone that's listening, that, the plants are here to support us to evolve into our highest selves and to truly share our medicine with the world. So thank you for coming on and sharing your medicine with us. And go check out Essential Oiled Wizardry. Again, you can do essentialoiledwizardry.com/Sabrina Riccio, and you can use, or /Sovereign Society, and you can also use the 10% coupon with Sovereign Society and start stocking up, because it's so great to use essential oils as your new medicine cabinet. That's what I always do. It's like, oh, I got something for you. I got something for you. So thank you everyone for tuning in. And thank you again, Dr. Nick, and go check out more from Essential Oiled Wizardry. And we'll be excited to hear what blends and what oils and extracts are supporting you. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll be seeing you soon. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.